Hello guys and welcome back to some Frosti-Town. Today we're gonna be modeling something different and it's gonna be really interesting. So here's what we're gonna do. First things first, we are going to delete this cube. Press Shift A and I'm gonna create a plane. We're gonna scale it on the x-axis and we're gonna scale it on the y-axis a little bit to right about there. We're gonna go into modifiers tab, gonna apply a solidify and bring it up right about there. No, not duplicate. We're gonna apply this. We're gonna go to matte cap and we're gonna apply shadow and cavity. We're gonna press Ctrl Alt 0. Sorry, let me turn on my screencast keys. There they are. So we're gonna shift and tilde and we're gonna bring it here and we're gonna add Ctrl Alt 0. We're gonna go into camera and we're gonna bring it back a little bit to right about here. Maybe just scale it down a little bit to right about here. Alright, the next thing what we're gonna do is we're gonna here's the new thing I've been working on. There's something called volume. You can import clouds into this. It's called a VDB. It's a new feature in Blender 2.92, I think. Yeah, 2.9. And I'll be putting the free link to VDB clouds in the description below. Do check them out. So we're gonna import. First, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into, where is it? Cloud VDB pack, and we're gonna go into PNG and we're gonna see which cloud suits us the best. So I'm thinking cloud 9. So we're gonna go back, we're gonna press Shift A, we're gonna go into volume and we're gonna import a VDB. We're gonna go into F, cloud VDB pack, and we're gonna import cloud 9. So we have something like this. So I'm gonna bring it here. Probably if we could rotate it along the z-axis. To right about there, and we'll bring it down to right about here. I'm gonna press Shift D and we're gonna bring it here. I'm gonna press Shift D and we're gonna bring it here, and we're gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna select all of these and I'm gonna press Shift D and we're gonna bring them here, Shift D, and we're gonna bring them here. Let's see how this looks. So we have something like this. Or maybe if we select all of these and bring this down a little bit. Let's just quickly save this because remember to save this file because this is a GPU or CPU heavy, whatever you guys like to call it. So I'm thinking maybe bring this up a little bit to right about here. Yeah, I think that seems about right. So we're gonna select all of these and we're gonna press Shift D and we're gonna G and X and we're gonna bring it right about here. Gonna go back. So we have something like this. I'm gonna go into shading tab and we're gonna go into rendered view and we're gonna select this guy. I'm gonna create new and we're gonna create a, let's create a bump node bring the bump node down, normal into the normal, shift A, I'm gonna create a noise texture, bring the factor into the height, and what we're gonna do is I'm gonna add a color ramp, and we're gonna add the color into the roughness and the factor into the factor. So I'm gonna go into base color, I'm gonna bring it down, and I'm gonna bring the roughness down a little bit, right about there. I'm gonna mess with the scale a little bit, I'm gonna make it a bit rough to right about there. Now let's see how this looks like in cycles. Okay, looks cool. Okay, the next thing what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back into our modeling, and we're gonna create a cube. We're gonna go into face select, and we're gonna select these phases. We're gonna delete them. Let's just save this, and we scale this on the y-axis, and let's just delete these phases as well. No, what am I supposed to do here? Yeah, we're gonna let me think for a moment. I want like a square, but okay, I get it. No, not that. I'm gonna press shift A, I'm gonna create a cube, and we're gonna scale it on the x-axis to right about here, and we're gonna go into face select, I'm gonna delete this face, and we're gonna delete this face, and we're gonna go into modifiers tab, we're gonna apply a solidify, bring the thickness back right about there. There we go. Now we're gonna go into our materials tab, and I'm gonna create new, gonna give a metallic, bring it down a little bit, gonna go into face select, we're gonna press alt, and we're gonna okay, so let's just shift click and select these. You know what, let's add this, let's add the same texture we applied to the plane. Let's add a new texture. Let's go into face select, we have these faces selected, and let's go into emission, assign, and we give it something like this, and we give it 10. I think that seems about right. So we have something like this. So we go back, we scale it up, and we rotate it to right about there. Let's see how this looks like in cycles. Let's save this, and we scale this up. We'll rotate this to right about here, shift D, G and X, and we scale this down. See how this looks like. Alright, the next thing what we're gonna do is, let's just select these and let's just hide these for a moment. Select all of these and we're gonna shift D and we're gonna bring it up to right about here, and unhide these, bring this down, let's shift D this and let's shift D this and bring it down to right about here. Shift D this, bring it down to right about here. Shift D this, bring it here. Shift D, bring it here. Shift D, bring it here. Shift D, bring it here. Alright, let's just save this because the computer might crash because this is very heavy. So the next thing we can do is we can go into our light and we can add an area light, and we can set this to same color, give it 80, bring it up, bring it down. Let's just save this again, go into cycles, yep, my computer is gonna crash now. So I'm gonna shift D that, and we're gonna bring it here. I'm gonna shift D this and bring it here. I'm gonna give it a little bit of red, give this a little bit of red too. Let's see how this looks like in cycles. let's shifty this, bring it up and bring it down right about there. Bring it up, shifty, bring it here, shifty, bring it here, and we're gonna give this red, and we're gonna give this red too. Select this guy, give it a little bit of bluish, go back, go into cycles, and let's render. The rendering is gonna take a lot of time, so what I'm gonna do now is, I hope my blender doesn't crash. I'm gonna select this is for denoising, and I'm gonna render this and I'm gonna be back. So let's do this. So guys, here it is. Here is my cycles render. It took about half an hour to render this. So this is how it looks like. So really great quality in cycles. So I hope you enjoyed this content. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, comment, share, and stay frosty. And as always, Frosti-Town signing out.